Check it out, guys. A bunch of strawberries waiting for their new home. Hey guys, Dennis and Kulika here. That's right. Those strawberries need a new home. So today we thought we'd do a video and show you where we're going to put them. So here they are. These are in the apple garden. These were constructed, and then that's what the strawberries are going to be in. There's several of them. So Kulika, why did you want to put the strawberries in the raised beds for?
Yeah, after a few years of trying and failing, I realized that the only way to really grow strawberries is in some far more controlled environment than than would be in the garden, just in the ground. Because I just realized that they just keep disappearing on me. So I just first off there is some insect that is just cutting off, biting off the blooms before they even turn into berries. So that's a real nuisance. I've been dealing with that, like in Estonia we had that problem, but it was never that bad as here. So it's just really bad here. And now I realize that just berries keep disappearing.
In the garden,
and, yeah, and also there are squirrels and mice and rabbits coming there, and just who knows.
So yeah, you could cover this in the garden, like not in here, but you cover them, and then
yeah,
the other animals that are getting it or eating it, the birds might not be.
Yeah, it's not just birds. Bird will be just pecking on a berry, but then the big berries, they just disappear. I think squirrel is coming and just picking them. And yeah, and also once the berries are on the ground, they get moldy and dirty, and not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I decided I'm gonna create some more controlled environment for them. So I built these boxes out of some of this wood is even old. So I used to have them
good,
as but it's still good. So
it's good untreated wood. Yeah.
It won't really last that long since it's not treated, and you don't use treated wood for anything in edible garden. So I just built these boxes now because I was just really badly wanted to have some strawberries finally.
Yeah.
So I built these boxes and I believe they would probably last 2 years, no more than that. And after that I'll probably build some cedar boxes or something like that.
So
yeah.
one thing you guys might be wondering too, why are they so high up for, Kulika, off the ground? Because usually these would be sitting on the ground. Why do you have them that height?
No, first off, if I put them on the ground, I didn't want just raised beds. I wanted them to actually be boxes, like the bottom's closed.
Yeah.
And if I have the bottom sitting on the ground, it would rot far sooner than it would that way. So I just wanted some air circulation underneath, and I had those tree stumps, so I just put them on tree stumps, and it's a nice height too for me to work on them. And they look kind of neat to me, don't they?
So what about in the winter though? What will you do when winter comes?
And in winter I think we'll just lift them off from the tree stumps and put them on the ground, and I'll just pile snow on top of them, and I think they'll be fine. And out of each box, because I'm gonna have different varieties in different boxes, so I'm gonna just take a few plants from each box out and plant them in the ground in a garden, just in case if the ones in the planter don't survive.
So yeah, she said she'll remove those stumps, we'll put them down to the ground, you know, so that there's no cold air going underneath, and then she'll take some out just in case, because she doesn't want to lose them.
Because they're easy to multiply, because they have these runners, so I'll just take however many I get to take out and plant them in the ground, and then in spring I'll plant them back.
So these are going to be really good, guys. So guys, she's going to get all the strawberries planted in there, and when they're all done, at the end of the video, we'll show you how they look, and she'll tell you what varieties there are and what's in there, what kind of soil or whatever she's using, and all that good stuff. So keep watching. Well, Kulika's almost done those raised beds. I thought I'd take you to the garden first and show you the strawberries here. Like, there's the odd berry here you can see. There's one right there. And there's others over there. But like she said, they're disappearing. Whatever's getting in here and they're munching on them. Of course birds can swoop down, and like you can cover these, but still the ones on the ground are getting at them. So she's gonna do beds for this too. Not now, this is later. she's going to have a raised bed here that's sitting on the ground. And also where those tomatoes are, she's going to have it. She said she's going to, not exactly sure here how she's going to do it, but it's not going to be like this. Okay guys, we're back in the apple garden. She did a lot of work. Look at that.
Yeah, I just have to add a little bit more dirt here.
So what do we have in here? What kind of strawberries are these ones?
These ones are Ostara. This is Ostara, they're everbearing.
What does everbearing mean?
Well, everbearing, they're bearing forever, no? Well, they are kind of berries that, they're kind of like indeterminate tomatoes. They just keep growing and giving berries until the end of the season. So they're not dependent on the length of the day, while June bearers have to do with the length of the day.
And what do we have in this box?
These are these ones are Fort Laramie, which are also everbearing, and this one is what I started from seeds. What's that? Few years ago, I put one of those here. I think it was Fresca strawberry. That's the only big strawberry that you can really grow from seeds.
And this box here now?
These ones are, they are actually bred for California growing because they're heat tolerant. So they can handle hot summers, which is what we have here. But I'm not sure how well they survive winters really here. They are eversweet, so they're everbearing too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they survive winter, but if they do, they do. If not, then...
We'll go to this box now. This is that. What's in here, Kulika?
Those two big ones are, they're some Walmart variety. I bought them last year from Walmart.
Yeah.
They gave me lots of berries, but they weren't too terribly tasty. But at least the crop was abundant. So,
you're not quite sure what...
I'm not sure what variety they are, but they are everbearing for sure.
And the little ones?
Just keep bearing. And the little ones are their babies. So.
So there, guys. That's all the strawberries. So let's go back to the first one we showed you before, and she'll tell you what else is in there with those strawberry plants. So this is the first one we showed you in the beginning of everything. It's all done. Now I wanted her to tell everybody what is exactly inside here, like the soil or whatever, right to the bottom. What is in under these strawberry plants?
Yeah, I can't really afford buying all that potting soil to fill them up, so, and it's not even practical. So in the bottom, which is where the roots don't really quite make it to, that's where I put I actually went to the forest and I got loads of rotten wood material. Lots of rotten wood, just 3 stumps that were but not any big chunks, so I got everything that was quite fine or breakable into fine pieces, because I have had experience with bigger chunks of branches and those planters, and I've noticed that things tend to dry out on top of those, because they, I don't know, it's I have always regretted when I have buried these big branches into planters. So I just got really rotten wood and I scrambled them into small pieces.
Is it on the bottom of the bed?
And they're in the very bottom, yeah.
And then next? And then
the next layer I put actually compost from my compost pile, but my compost is never ripe. It's kind of raw because I don't have patience and time to wait until it gets ripe. So, and it just does it. It really needs to be turned around in every little while in order for it to decompose quickly. So, and I can never quite do that because it's too hard.
So is this the top layer here now?
So yeah, it's a semi-raw compost comes next, and then I put potting soil on top of it, purchased potting soil, which is the top layer. And between that, the raw compost and the potting soil, I put some chicken poop granules. Yeah. For some extra nitrogen and calcium and other nutrients too. Oh, maybe I'll put some scrambled eggshells here, I just remembered. Maybe I'll put, because they really need calcium.
I think these will flourish nicely in these boxes now.
And I'm not a great fan of any synthetic fertilizers, because they could have contaminants and heavy metals and stuff. So I try to avoid those if at all possible. If they are really performing poorly, then I would use Miracle Grow or stuff like that to water them. But I'm trying to avoid those, so I'll try to do without those first. So basically everything is organic here, organic materials.
So guys, there you have it. Raised beds for strawberries. Those will be good later. So give a big thumbs up, and please leave a question below there in the comments, and check out the links too below. So see you in the next one.